Alright, so we are now in Wichita Falls for our next tournament. So yeah, we have a little bit until Kalahari, so we want to just come out here, get a little bit of practice, and lots of the teams here we know, so we're going to try to have fun with them and just gain a little bit of, just get a little bit of practice in and try to fine-tune the robot for Kalahari, like I said. So yeah, the robot hasn't changed at all. We've just made sure it's still working. We've always just been working on the rebuild so far, so the robot hasn't changed at all. Just yeah, I guess made the autons a little bit more consistent, but so yeah, nothing's changed. We're just gonna try to get a little practice in and yeah, have some fun.
So yeah, we just arrived, got inspected. I've checked it, everything's working well. The expansion isn't working quite as well as it was at Speedway, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's like 2 tiles. Yeah, so far, I mean, the skills it's gonna be a crapshoot, but everything else is working really well. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what we can do.
Alright, teams, Q4 getting underway. Blue team, are you ready? Red team. Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, we got movement on the autonomous. That red robot. Oh! Not. Okay.
So our first match was a really, really good match for us. In Auton, it worked flawlessly. It made 4 of 4 discs. So that was a really good start to the match. We could tell that the robot was dialed in. And that really did carry over to driver, because our shooting started off a little bit slow. We only made 2 out of 3 in the first few shots, but we started to pick it up towards the middle. We had our the strategy was for our alliance partner to take care of rollers, and for us to just take care of shooting. And that really helped us only prioritize shooting, and it helped us, yeah, really do well in shooting. One thing I would like to point out is that we really filled up that one side of the goal closest to our driver station up really well, and then we went over to the other side of the goal and started filling that side up really well too. So we're getting a lot more accurate in terms of our shooting. So that was a really promising start to the tournament. So we filled the high goal all the way, so we got really packed those discs in, and then towards the end of the match and in game, we just defended our rollers and fired off end game. It didn't work as well, but it still covered a decent amount of tiles, so it's pretty good. Overall, like I said, a really promising start to the tournament, and we just knew that the most important thing was just to stay consistent and not make any silly mistakes.
All right, Blue Lions. Are we ready? Are y'all ready? Blue? Red? Are we ready? Alright, autonomous in 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, we got some launching. We had somebody cross the line, looks like.
Our consistent shooting carried over into our second match, but unfortunately that did not start off with Auton. It missed the discs short, and I think 1 rimmed out. But we still lost autonomous because our alliance partners went over the line. It's just not that big of a deal. But in driver control, the strategy was for us to take the high goal and rollers, and for our alliance partner to play defense. And that worked out really well. Our shooting was a little bit slower to start off than our first match, because we were shooting on the far side, so it was a little bit more difficult to aim, but we were able to dial it in towards the end of the match. We had to shoot with a little bit of defense, but we were able to push through it, and we filled the high goal really well. So yeah, our alliance partners did a really good job of pushing our opponents around to keep them from filling up their high goal, and we did a good job of filling up our high goal. We shot on the far side, we shot on the near side, we really filled it up well. And towards the end, we had a little bit of a fight over the rollers towards the end. We were able to get those to our color and shoot off endgame. It worked a lot better this time. Both of them went out, so not really much to complain about there. The match went really well. So yeah, we're putting up good, consistent scores, consistently high scores, and the robots were working well. So yeah, we just knew that just like in the first match, we needed to stay consistent because the robot was working really well at this point.
On in 3, 2, 1.
The Auton worked a little bit better in our third match. It made one of the 4 discs and it spun the roller. But we still tied autonomous because we had one roller, our line and our opponents had a roller. We put 1 disc in, which was 5 points, but then also missed 5 discs, so it evened out. We ended up tying autonomous. But in driver control, the strategy was for both of our bots to play a fairly offensive strategy, just basically attack the high goal and spin rollers as needed. And I think it worked out pretty good for us. Our shooting wasn't quite as consistent as our first 2 matches, but we were able to make it work, especially with both of our Alliance robots shooting in the high goal. Our Alliance partners definitely helped out in the high goal area, so that was pretty solid. Our opponents did a really good job of spinning the rollers during driver control, so we had to periodically go back and spin to our color, which did lower the amount of shots we were able to get off, but in the end we had the rollers to our color, so the high goal wasn't filled up as much at the end of the match as we'd have liked it to be. We just missed a few shots, and our opponents played a fairly defensive strategy as opposed to our offensive strategy, so it made it a little more difficult to shoot, but we were able to get it done. We got the rollers to our color and filled up the high goal pretty good. But yeah, at the end, we just made sure the rollers to our color. They were. And then we shot off endgame. Only one went out this time, but it still went out pretty far, so it's not big of a deal. But at this point, we knew that we would definitely need to raise the consistency of our shooting if we wanted to do well in this tournament. And luckily, we did a good job with that.
Okay, Auton in 3, 2, 1. Both sides taking shots.
Our fourth match was just a really interesting match for us. In Auton, once again, it spun the roller. Our line spinner spun the roller, and it missed all of the discs short again. And at this point, we could kind of tell that the flywheel itself was just deteriorating over time. We haven't tuned it up or done anything to it for a while now, so it's just kind of slowly falling apart, I guess. And it really wouldn't have that much success in Auton for the rest of the tournament. But fortunately, it still was in great shape for match play. The strategy was for us and our alliance partner to just go all offense, no defense. Our alliance partner would do shooting and a little bit of rollers. We would do just all shooting. And yeah, our shooting was a little bit better than our last match. We filled the high goal pretty well. Our alliance partner did well shooting too and just spinning the rollers. So yeah, that was basically just it, us shooting and taking care of rollers, filling it up pretty well. But with about a minute 15 left, tasted a little bit of a sharp maneuver, and part of the end game came out of the back. It wasn't outside the size limit, but we could tell that if we did any more driving, it would come out. So we kind of went in the corner, not because we had to, but because we could tell it would be an issue later in the match. And we were winning by a pretty good amount, so we knew it wasn't that big of a deal. So we just waited in the corner while our alliance partner did rollers and shooting. And at the end, we just shot off endgame because it had partially fallen out. It didn't work as well. It's understandable. But, so yeah, this match is a little bit interesting. Obviously, the robot is having a little bit of issues. We definitely knew we would need to tune it up after the tournament, but we are making it work, and it was working pretty well.
In 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, we got a push bot who pushed the couple into the red zone. We got a blue shooter who missed.
Our fifth match was another crazy match for us. In Auton, we ran our right side because our alliance partner had a good left side roller Auton. And once again, it missed all 3 discs short. Like I said, it would be a theme. It was just kind of falling apart, the flywheel, but we're still able to get both rollers, so we still won autonomous, which was great. And in driver control, the strategy was for us to take high goal and for our alliance partners to just take rollers. And that worked out well because our shooting was really good. We made all of our shots. We made the first 6 really well, really quickly. And then our end game came out, and it didn't, I guess, like, come out. It, like, shot out. Like, something triggered it, and it shot out. So that wasn't ideal, but we were able to actually cover it up. So we were able to rectify it and get back it within size. So that was good. And fortunately, we still had some discs in our flywheel, so we were able to. When we covered it up, we were still aimed at the goal, so we were able to shoot those in. It was kind of awesome. But this was when our alliance partners, they were crucial because we had a lot more discs than our opponents. But if our opponents got all the rollers, it wouldn't make a difference. So they did really good at defending the rollers and making sure we still had half. And I don't know how they did it, but they got it done, which was really important and I guess awesome. And if you'll notice, one of the other team pushed the disc right in front of our bot, so Chase kind of like inched forward and intaked it. I don't know, but he did something to it, and he was able to shoot it in, which was crazy. But in the end, we were able to kind of shoot off our end game. Like I said, it was already shot off, so it didn't work that well. We were able to get the win. We were 5-0. We knew we just need one more win to get a really high seed. We were like 1 or 2 at this point. So the next match would be crucial. But we were able to pull this one off, and yeah, it gave us definitely a lot of confidence.
All right, blue teams, are we ready? Red team. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. That was moving fast. We're short. We got a red roller and...
Our 6th match was really important, like I said. It gave us a high seed in the alliance round, which is awesome. And Auton spun the roller and missed all the discs short. I'm not going to go into all this again, so we're just going to move on to driver control. In driver control, the strategy was for our alliance partners to do rollers and defense, and us to take high goal. Us to do a little bit, we were going to do a little more rollers than usual, but we still got it done. We were able to pull off the win. In terms of shooting, we shot still really well. We had some good defense put on us. They were pushing us around a little bit, so but we were able to push through that. In terms of the shooting, we filled it up. We didn't fill it up all the way, but we filled it up pretty good, like 13, 14 discs. And so we're just being pretty methodical, just spinning rollers periodically and filling up the high goal to the best of our ability, obviously, but towards the end, Chase did good at getting the rollers to our color, pushing some bots out of the way. The one corner of the field was really crowded when we shot off endgame, so it didn't really go out at all. But, I mean, there's not much we could have done about that, so that's okay. We were able to pull off the win, like I said. We were 6-0. That was good. We got 2 seed after this match because we didn't have as many on points as we'd have liked to get, so we were 2 seed, but that definitely gave us obviously a good seed for the alliance rounds and opened up a lot of good possibilities for the alliance rounds.
So we've done pretty well so far. Performance-wise, not so good because I haven't gotten that many discs in the goal. The end game hasn't really worked. The Auton hasn't really worked, but we've still won every match. Not exactly pleased with how we've done, but I've been able to fix it. It'd be interesting to see how we do in the alliance rounds. We're seeded 1, we get a bye. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Okay, team number 1, who do you choose for your slides?
15979K.
Do you accept? They accept. Hold up your signs for the, make sure she's got you. Okay, Red team's ready. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we've got a red roller. We've got a couple of pitches into the red logo. Okay, so red one more time. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Watch the minutes, everybody. We got one in the line up for red. We've got this red and then worked on here. Let's halfway. Okay, we got 3 and then I'll put that for red. We're going to turn the dome. Don't turn the roller, don't turn the roller, do the roller. Alright, so these practices. Okay, little bottom basket. The top basket, excuse me. Okay, and now let's have a red roller. And we're going to keep the rollers on this side. We've got 2 minutes to do it. Okay. 35 seconds. Red is changing to, yes, red is changing to rollers. So I'm off to it now. Oh! Yeah, let's look back that one. 15. All right. 10. All right. All right. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. All right. One okay. We've got red autonomous win. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, we've got a red roller. We got red marking in the high yard. We're trying to push them around. Okay. We're just trying to take back the roller. We have another red roller on this side, so one blue right over there, one blue right over here. We got red shooting into the high yard. And it's pretty good. Okay. Everybody's still in the third basket. Don't worry about it. Okay, ready to go in the rolling. And shooting into the red basket. 30 seconds. Alright, we got a little bit of defense going on. Red is still winning. Red is in the high yard. Red is trying to go in one more roller. And Red wins. We got one string to play. 4, 3, 2, 1, we go. Are we ready? All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. So the red rollers, 2 kicks in the rollers for the red, 2 kicks in the rollers for the blue. The red roller over there, so now we're going to the 3 red rollers. 1, 2, 3. Red autonomous win. Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, blue is now taking back some of the rollers. Red is on his 14 and we'll have to go. Blue is starting to take back. There we go, guys. Take it back. 3 out of the 4 rollers. Red is shooting in the upper basket. Do we want the point clear? Okay, Red comes back and takes back those rollers. Okay. So we go back and forth. Okay, Red's getting more of that. And then up the goal, we've got blue score 2 in there. We've got a few in the bottom of the blue goal. The red is filling up their basket fast. There's a 5 for the rollers over here. We've got 1 blue, 1 red, 2 red on the other side. Up, now we got blue, red, and somebody shot at this good person. Okay. Whoop, and somebody else got hit. We've got lots of casualties in this one. And some round robots. Okay, we've got more in the red basket. Still trying to gain control of those rollers. We've got 1 blue and 1 red. They just dropped on the other side. We got 1 blue and 1 red over here. We're at 15 seconds. We got 2 blues. Over there, 2 red again. 9. Alright. They got red rollers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright. Good game. Very intense. I wouldn't stand too close to the goal with these guys.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really successful tournament. At the beginning, obviously the robot was working really well. It made 4 discs in Auton, and it was styled in. It was filling up the goal really well. And then unfortunately, just as the tournament went on, just because we haven't maintained it in a while, it just started to kind of decline, not do as well. But we're still able to do really well with it. That's what we're here doing now. We're making sure the robot's all ready for Kalahari and fixing some stuff. We're adding like a flywheel angle changer and a better expansion, so hopefully we'll have that ready in time. But in terms of the tournament, the robot wasn't working that great, but we still were able to make it to finals and win the whole thing. So that was really awesome. Just, we came out to get some practice. We got that done, I thought. In terms of skills, we got a 189. We did a 130 driver and like a 50-something Auton. So not as good as Speedway, but still enough to win a skills champion. So that was really awesome. And then at the end of the tournament, we were given the judges award, and that was cool. But yeah, I thought we just had a really solid tournament overall. We would like to thank 42368B, Top G, for allying with us. They were just really cool to work with. They worked well with our strategy. Their Auton worked every time, so we can't really argue with that. They're really fun to work with. So yes, just to close things out, our next tournament is Kalahari Signature Event. Sometime in January, I don't know when. Hopefully I'll remember so we can get there. But anyways, that should be a lot of fun. We're just gonna try to, try things out and just really enjoy that experience.